everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And it's Tuesday. It's a very snowy west coast of Canada. We don't usually get so much snow here on the west coast, but my gosh, it's been snowing for close to a week now, off and on. So we have feet in our driveway that have been taking up the time to do some shoveling. So I hope you are all doing well. I hope you all had a great Christmas, our holiday season, and we're able to spend it as best as we could spend it, I guess, going forward. Hey, Sarah, welcome. And that it's New Year's coming up. So I don't know, do you make New Year's resolutions? I don't. So we'll see what happens this year. All right, it's Tuesday night, and so I am back with my sketch challenge this Tuesday. And I'm going to use one of the new products from the upcoming January to June mini catalog. I'm using the Daffodil Daydream Stamp Set and some of the designer series paper. I'm not using the dies yet. I haven't quite figured them out yet, but I will do a video showing you a card that uses the dies as well at some point. But for tonight, I'm going to keep it simple and do some coloring with some blends and using the stamp set. All right, I'm going to switch over. I want to make sure that I am live and that I can see comments. If you are coming in through Facebook, don't forget to give Facebook permission so I can actually see who's commenting. You have to go to streamyard.com/Facebook. Hey, Catherine, and give permission so that I can see. All right, I'm going to switch over and we'll get started on the sketch. All right, this is the sketch. So you've got a piece of the card base, which is the gray color, which is 5.5 by 8.5 or 4 1/4 by 11. And you'll fold that in half, whichever size you have. Layer number 1, which is the yellow, is 3 3/4 by 5. Layer 2 is the orange, 2.5 by 4 1/4. And then you need 2 circles. I'm saying they're about 2 3/4 inch for the large one and 2.5 inch circle for the next one down, but whatever size of circle that you have that will fit your image. And then a scrap for the sentiment. So my sentiment is about, I'm going to say 3/4 of an inch by 2.5. And I'm going to cut that down. Actually, mine's bigger than that, but that's about the size that you want. It can go longer across it, but whatever your sentiment is, that's what you're going to use. All right, let me bring in. So this is the Daffodil Daydream, a bit of a glare on my stamp set. So this is the Daffodil Daydream Stamp Set that is available in the upcoming January to June mini catalog. So really pretty daffodils, some great kind of scrolls that could be used as a border, some splatter. I love splatter splotches. And then the sentiments are Happy Mother's Day and Easter blessings. I want a butterfly. So nice, simple stamp set, perfect for doing some coloring. Okay, so here are my supplies. So I'm using Evening Evergreen. I'll just put a brain moment there. Evening Evergreen, 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm going to cut that in, or score that in half. This is one of the pieces of the designer series paper. It kind of reminds me of the Field and Flower designer series paper that was in last year's celebration. It was quite dark, and so I found it's beautiful, but you do have to use a pop of color to just brighten it up a little bit. And then this side is the bumblebee side. I'm using this one with the pretty daffodils on. Right, so I'm just going to score this at 5.5. And fold it into the mountain or into the bump. Do good varnish with your bone folder. Okay. Then this piece is going to go on here. And I could actually, I think I made this, I probably cut this the wrong size. Yeah, so this is supposed to be, what did I say, 3 3/4. Out of habit, I always cut my first layer 4 inches by 5 1/4. So we'll just trim this. This is now 3 3/4 by 5. And if you wanted to brighten this up a little bit, you could actually even add a layer of the bumblebee around it, but I'm not going to since I don't have one cut. I'm just going to adhere this down with some liquid glue. And I think there is a right way and a wrong way. Yes, there seems to be a right way and a wrong way to this. The daffodils facing upwards. There we go. Okay. Glue a little close to the edge on that one. All right. Dry clear, nice, thankfully. Okay, so we've got that. Now I've got a piece of bumblebee. This is my layer number 2, 2.5 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm going to, if I can find my paper snips, I'm just going to, I didn't say this, but I've decided I'm going to do this. So that's what a sketch is all about, in my opinion, is you can just use it as an idea, but I'm going to cut a flag end in this just to give it a little bit more detail. There we go. Don't want it too big. Now I'm going to stamp on here using the splotches. I just love splotches. Hey, Diana. All right, I haven't even opened my stamp set, so I'm gonna have to pull it all off. It's always fun to use a stamp set for the first time. I'm playing a little bit with some of my products, but this isn't one of them. All right, so let's just do some splatters, kind of random, just to give it some detail in behind. Otherwise, it's kind of boring. You could emboss on here as well if you wanted to, but I think just adding the splatters works as well. And this is going to go like that. And I'm going to use some dimensionals on here to pop it up. You never have too many dimensionals. Probably need a couple more in the middle here, just quite a big piece of cardstock. So you want to make sure that it doesn't sag in the middle. All right, so we're going to, now I'm covering up all that really pretty paper. Hold on. Okay, there, that's going to go like that. Okay, now I've got a piece of Pear Pizzazz, and I cut this out of the, let's see, how big is this one? My roller. I've used the layering circles, and this is the scallop, and this is the one that's about 2 3/4 inches. So it's going to go across like that. And then I'm using Berry Vanilla because I just thought I think it's Berry Vanilla in the background. So this is going to go across there. Just going to see a little peek of the Pear Pizzazz. So this is about it's about 2 5/8. But you could use a 2.5 inch and you'd have more of your Pear Pizzazz showing. All right, I'm going to use my Tuxedo Black Memento, and I'm going to use the stamp that is the single daffodil. Mostly because you probably don't want to watch me coloring all that much. Let's see. Get a little bit more of the stamp on here. All right. Ink this up. That pretty daffodil. You certainly wouldn't see daffodils around my house these days, or many parts of the Vancouver or the Vancouver Island area. We've got a lot of snow. Now, unfortunately, there isn't a bumblebee blends, so I'm using the Daffodil Delight blends. And I'm just going to kind of color. I wish there was the bumblebee, but there isn't, so we'll use this. You could actually add in some, if you wanted to, Mango Melody blends just to give it a little bit of a richer color, but I didn't bring those blends. So the other thing you could use, if you wanted to, instead of blends, you could use a re-inker and some blender pen or your water painters. If you were using water painters, you would probably want to use watercolor paper because it's intended to be used and soak up some of the liquid. Just going over it with the dark just to give it some dimension. And I know I've said this before. When I use blends, I always start with the light, and then I use my dark to add some shading, and then I go back over it with the light. Now I've got Evening Evergreen for the leaves. It's coloring. I'm really just coloring with this one. I'm not sure that I'm going to go back in over it with any dark. There's not much room to do that. Give it a relief. It goes up here. Now I think I'm going to add a little bit more of the splotches just to I said I love splotches. All right, there we go. Now, put these back in here. Here along like that. My dog's decided she's going to bark. You can hear that. All right, so then we're going to use a couple more dimensionals. Now this is, I just want to make sure I don't go too close to the edge on the sides because it's this is just a touch wider than my tag piece. Okay, so then this is going to go down. Let's get it halfway. Oops, get it straight. There we go. Now I've got a piece of Very Vanilla, and I'm going to we'll make this to be a Mother's Day card. You could use, if you didn't want to use one of these stamps, you could use any stamp that you've got. But since I've got my stamp set here, I'll take the time to put my label on. And I'm going to stamp this in Pear Pizzazz. I think let's just see how straight this is. Oh, nope, I'm not using that one. I think I need to re-ink. I think I've said that before. We will do some re-inking. That one is not much. We're going to use the Bumblebee. Oh, there we go. Now, I'm going to trim this. Because it's just a little bit too big for the... Now, where do I want to put this? That's how the sketch said it should go. Trim this a little bit. That's how the sketch said it should go. Okay, we'll do that. I don't want to cover up my daffodil. That's why I'm struggling a little bit with this. There we go. And I think I'm just going to take, I've got, yes, I've got a mini dimensional here. And just pop up a mini dimensional or two underneath here, just to pop that so the bottom doesn't sag. Should have put it on before I put my sentiment down. But we'll just tuck this underneath. I think I need another one. There we go. Just so that it doesn't. Okay, now I didn't grab any embellishments, so I think we'll leave it like this. Now I've got a piece of Very Vanilla that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And we will use this scroll stamp set and stamp on the inside of the card. I'm just going to stamp along the bottom. Oh, that's pretty. Really pretty. Okay, now we will push this, put this on the inside. There we go. Finish the inside of my cards. If I'm going to have a New Year's resolution this year, it is to finish the inside of my card. All right, there's my sketch. There's my card. Shifted the little sentiment a little bit, but I think it needed to. Hey, Maxine, yes, I know. Isn't it pretty? I just love this stamp set too. And I am looking forward to playing with the dies in the next couple of days because I think it's going to be really pretty. It just feels like I need a spring day after all of the snow that we've had here. I know Maxine can relate because I've seen the front of her house too with the snow. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me tonight. If you come in through YouTube, don't forget to take the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you will get notified when I do my videos. If you come in through Facebook, you will get notified because I always do some posts and some notification messages in advance of my lives. Now it's Tuesday night for Sketch Challenge. I will be live on Thursday night in my group, my Facebook group only, with a mystery challenge, and that challenge will go live about 9 a.m. Pacific, so you can get all of your supplies ready. And so I will be live at 6:30 Pacific with the mystery, and then take a little bit of a break until January 2nd. So I guess Sunday I will be back with a live at 12 noon. And then we're back on track. The holidays are over. People are back to work. And so we'll be back on track with my regular schedule of being live on Sundays at 12 Pacific, Tuesday at 6:30 with a sketch, Thursday with the mystery challenge at 6:30 Pacific in my group, and then Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific with a live. So that's my regular schedule. I hope you'll join me. Hopefully you've had some time to be creative in your craft rooms over the holidays. If not, I hope you have time to do that before the holidays are over. And I will see those that join me for the mystery challenge on Thursday night. And if not, hopefully you'll join me on Sunday at 11 Pacific. Thanks everybody for joining me. Happy stamping. Bye.